told I shut down emotionally when stressed. How do I stay present with the people I love instead of retreating? This is such a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I think that this is really relatable for a lot of people. And whoever submitted this question, thank you, because I think so often when we are stressed, and people, it's like such a natural tendency for people in our lives to want to help us, right? And to like want to provide support and be there for us. But sometimes the way that we like get through it or cope with it is kind of like going inward or like just
Mm-hmm.
trying to like manage the moment and like mitigate whatever's happening right then and there. And so it is not abnormal to withdraw or to like go inward and have that moment of like shutdown almost. But when we become aware of it, right, like having that awareness of how can I stay present for the people I love instead of retreating and instead of cutting them off, because we care
Mm-hmm.
about people and we want to be good to them. So um we're going to dive into this. I would say like for me, like what first comes to mind is like being able to articulate the experience and articulate whatever it is that's going on for you to those people so that there's like a little bit of expectations like being met. When we just shut down completely and like don't provide any context or like communication around it, it can like it can be difficult for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, for the people that we're engaging with, because they're like, what's wrong? Did I do something? It can create an environment where people are walking on eggshells or
Mm-hmm.
feel responsible for whatever is happening. But when we're able to just say like, and I'm going to make up a random scenario here, but like, hey, I just want you to know I'm really stressed out right now about this, and it has nothing to do with you, but right now I'm feeling the need to just focus and get through it.
Yeah.
So that is a way to like one, name it to tame it, because you're just naming what's happening for you. Like, hey, I'm really stressed out. I don't feel like talking about it. This is what's happening, but I just need to like be with myself with it for a while.
Yeah.
That is also just meeting the expectations of those that you do love, the people that you love and you are engaged with, your family, your spouse, your coworker, your friend, whatever. When we're able to do that, it just creates some ease of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what's up. And I'm super sorry that this is how it's coming across, but this is where I'm at. And that way there's no like, there's no room to spin a story, like fill in the
Yeah.
blank, all that
It's
stuff
just
that,
like putting it on the table. Like this is where
yes.
I'm at. I do that not necessarily when I'm stressed, but like if I'm in pain, for example, our last episode was on the female cycles and menstrual cycles. And so if I'm in pain, I definitely like retreat inward and get very quiet. And for me, what has been so helpful is to share with people, like, I'm just retreating inward right now. Like this is like a practice of like, almost like a meditative practice for me to like make it through what I'm going through. And so sometimes if you're in a really stressful situation, sometimes it can be helpful and to literally just share with people, like, I actually am like taking a moment for myself. Like I'm retreating inward. I'm not shutting down.
Mm,
If you are shutting down, though, where it's not from a place of like intentionality, where you're like utilizing that retreat inward to like get you to where you're trying to go, or to say what you need to say, or to like collect your thoughts, or whatever that looks like. If it's truly being like in a place of shutdown, you could potentially kind of explore like, where did that originate from? Like, how did I engage with stress when I grew up? How did I observe stress when I grew up? What was that kind of dynamic like in my environment? And that sometimes just helps to make sense of things, like to understand, like, oh, that's why I do this. Like, this is what I observed growing up, or this is what I kind of had to do growing up when things were stressful. But I think sometimes too, it's just a matter of like not always knowing how to share what you're experiencing. And
mm,
so instead of saying that, like, I don't know what to say right now, or I don't know how to communicate what I'm going through, or I'm like literally not in touch with, with what I'm going through. Sometimes it's easier to just like shut down and withdraw from the situation. And so that could potentially be another angle to look at it, I guess, of, why am I shutting down? Do I not feel safe? Do I just not know what's happening inside of me? Do I not know
yeah.
how to communicate what's happening? So like getting clear on the why behind it.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. I think that is really important for people to like just have an awareness or like bring into the field. Because while you were saying that, I was also thinking about how like if that is the case, right? And you're in an environment where you're not like alone or you are engaging with people, that can be really helpful to just be like, hey, I don't really know what's going on right now, but I'm just in a funk and I just want
Mm-hmm.
you to know it has nothing to do with you. Or
Yeah.
I just, I might, I'm moving through this and I don't really know what to do at the moment, but I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Sometimes a heads up is just like, oh my gosh, a little goes a long way,
Yeah.
because when we, I think there can be a tendency sometimes when we do withdrawal or when we're in that place to like, to either like kind of isolate or shut down or whatever. But when we're able to just like level with the people around us and in our
Mm-hmm.
environment, it can help just like meet everybody where they're at. And then it also helps, when we don't communicate and then our
Mm-hmm.
partner or our family or our kids or whoever does spin that story or does like take it personally, that can lead to like greater confrontation down the road. And so
Yeah.
it's like, how can we like soften as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible, soften the experience or just like meet expectations so that everybody's on the same page. And
Yeah.
maybe they're not, nobody has to be comfortable with what's happening,
Yeah.
but at least everybody is aware of like, okay, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dwell or like try to solve or whatever
Yeah.
because of this. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And I think too, like the like part two to sharing, like I just need some space, I need some time to like go inward, is when can we come back to the table together? Like when can I return and
Yeah.
be present with you? And like in this case, I'm assuming maybe it's part of like a conflict or something challenging happening in the relationship with people that you love and retreating or shutting down from that. And so being able to share, like, I just need some time to like process this, or to get clear on like what I'm experiencing, or to like gather myself a little bit so that I don't lose it. Like those are okay. And then to also say, let's come back in 10 minutes. Let's come back in a couple days, like figuring
Yeah.
out what makes the most sense for, the stressful situation that you're in.